Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another day in Vlogmas. I don't know what day it is, but in today's video I'm going to be answering one of the questions that I got in my Q&A, the house job Q&A that I did not quite long ago, and it's after house job, what is next?
Nobody can tell me that God is not patient.
So I'm going to be doing this in two parts in this video. Like, this video is going to be divided into part where I talk about like the general, what is next, and then I will go into specific, because the question I think that was asked to me directly, like what's my plan after house job. So I'm going to tell you like what's next after house job generally, and then I will let you know what my plans are post house job. Okay, so let's get right into the video. Typically after house job in Nigeria, you go for your NYSC, the National Youth Service Corps. You're gonna do all that on the NYSC page. So typically, you're assigned to a state, and then like you figure yourself out there from there. So you start working, and I feel like this point is actually when like people begin to wake up and see that the health system pays trash. It pays rubbish, because imagine moving from like almost 250k to like 100 and something k. I know that the NYSC pay for doctors, I think they're a bit higher. I'm not sure. I may be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think that NYSC pays doctors higher, or I might be wrong. Anyway, the pay is ridiculous, right? It's rubbish. Moving from 200 and something to like dropping to 100 and something, especially when like you have built your life around that amount of money. Like, you're used to, imagine getting that amount of money for a year. You're going to one way or the other like plan yourself around that money, right? And now NYC, you're getting something lower. Well, a few people are lucky and they get something even higher than the amount of money that they had during house job, but like it's not the case for everybody. So the pay is really ridiculous. Anyway, that aside, after house job you do your NYC. I know a lot of people say, oh, is NYC compulsory, NYC not compulsory, but like I advised in that Q&A video, I would say be done with anything you need to do in Nigeria. Anything that is going to like prevent you from, you know, falling back to, you know, becoming a doctor in Nigeria, just do it. What however means you want to do it is your business, but get your NYSC certificates. Do you understand? Because like I said in that Q&A video, the pathway to like moving outside Nigeria may take time. Becoming a doctor outside Nigeria may take time. For PLAB, you can do it between one a year and a half, 2 years to get licensed. You can do that between 1 to 2 years, right? Sometimes it may take longer, but it has to be 2 years because you know your IELTS will expire in 2 years. Anyway, that route might take like 2 years to get that done, depending on when you start. And then USMLE may take longer also, depending on when you start. So for the time being, you're going to be practicing in Nigeria, well, except you have maybe a place to stay outside Nigeria and you go there and prepare for your exams. If that's not the case for you, if you know you're going to be in Nigeria preparing for your international exams, I will advise that you do your NYC and get it over with. I mean, if you're going to spend 1 year, just spend that 1 year doing your NYC and just give it to them, get your certificate, just so that even if the certification and you getting a job outside Nigeria takes a while, you can still earn money in Nigeria. I mean, if you check out most medical officer job description, you see that it's post house job, post NYSC. Very few people want to actually hire doctors that are not post NYSC, or at least they want to hire doctors that have the likelihood of doing their NYSC in their hospitals. Do you understand? So you need to have your NYSC. It's not just, I used to think that, oh, it was just the federal or the state, but the truth is that even private hospitals prefer post NYSC doctors, because now it shows that you have at least 2 years experience, your housemanship year, and also your NYSC year. So yes, do your NYSC. Just in case you're watching this video and you're wondering, do I need to get my NYSC done? Yes, you need to get your NYSC done, so do it. Now NYSC is out of the way. Now I'm going to talk about two routes, the local and the international route. So the local route basically is you deciding if you want to do your residency. If you want, local route basically is you staying in Nigeria, right? First of all. So now when staying in Nigeria, you have to decide Do you want to go into residency, or do you want to just be like a general practitioner? You want to be a medical officer? That is something you have to have at the back of your mind. Usually people start out by being a medical officer for a few reasons. One of it is that you're not yet sure of the specialty you want to go into, and that's fine, that's okay. You don't have to have your life figured out every step of the way. So some things may take time, and that's okay. You're not on anybody's timeline, you are on your own timeline. Do you understand? It's your life. So you're not, if it takes somebody 5 years to do something, it may take you 1 year. If it takes somebody 2 months to do something, it may take you 10 years. So you're not on anybody's timeline. Do you understand? So I feel like you should have that at the back of your mind. So a lot of people start out by, being a general practitioner and just being MOs. For aside the reason of not knowing what to specialize in, it is less stressful to be an MO than to be a resident. As a resident, you are in training. As a medical officer, you're not necessarily in training. You're just going to work. You're going to work and you're coming back. You're going to work. You're coming back. You're not necessarily reading for any exam. Yes, there are actually levels to being an MO. Like you're going to grow from just being an MO to like PMO, and I don't know. There are levels to it, okay? But you're not intentionally reading every single time. In residency, you have to study. You have to be on your A game. Residency is just like extended medical school. You're studying. People are bashing you. It's the road to being a consultant, right? To being a specialist, and it takes a lot. Sometimes people are not ready for that phase, that rigorous training and all whatnot, and also they have not decided if like it's actually worth it. And sometimes people have other things they're doing and they're not ready to like you know focus on that yet, or they just really want to be MOs and they don't want to have any specialty, like exactly. Do you understand? So that is one route, becoming a medical officer. The second route is your specialty training. If you want to do your specialty training in Nigeria, you have to write primaries in. First of all, you have to have your NYSC. Let's just say that you can't do either of these things if you don't have your NYSC, right? Your NYSC, you write your primaries. So you write your primaries into the specialty that you want to get into. So if you want to do internal medicine, you have to write your primaries in internal medicine. If you want to do ONG, you have to write your primaries in ONG and stuff like that. Then you apply for residency programs in any hospitals or any training center that has availability for that. Different training program, different specialty have different timelines. So from a period of like 4 years, 3 to 4 years and above, you know that some specialty take less time, some specialty take more time. Like if you're going into surgical training, whether it's ONG or like surgery itself, um it takes more time than internal medicine and pediatrics. So it's usually like you do your junior residency, you take your part one exam. When you pass that, you become a senior resident, and then finally you take your part two exam to become a fellow. And then if you're appointed in any hospital, you become a consultant. That's just like a quick rundown of how the specialty training works in Nigeria. There are other things if you want to get into that. If you want to get into specialty training, you will find out as you go. So the next part is the international training. So now this part depends on the country that you would like to reside in, the country that you would like to work as a doctor in. So different countries have their different routes and most the popular ones that people usually do is like you hear is PLAB and USMLE. Few people want to go to Canada, some people want to go to Australia, okay? But the popular ones that we all know here in Nigeria is USMLE and PLAB. USMLE is good because it can actually get you into Canada. I don't know about Australia, but USMLE I know you can write USMLE and match into like a Canadian residency program. There are like other things in the Canadian residency program aside USMLE do. But yeah, PLAB's route is simpler, is faster because it just has I think two exams. First of all, you have to write your English proficiency exam, which is either IELTS or OET. So either you write IELTS or you write OET, and these exams are valid for 2 years. This is very important because you need your IELTS, your English proficiency exam, to be valid by the time you're registering for to get license in the UK, right? So you need the exams, the English proficiency to be licensed. If not, you have to write it again, and it's not going to affect you in any way, but you're going to be spending money that you should not have spent if like you did all your exams within 2 years. So yeah, PLAB takes PLAB typically should take 2 years. It might be less than 2 years depending on how you're ready and how you're able to secure your exam date. For your IELTS and your PLAB 1, you can write it here in Nigeria. Then PLAB 2, you have to go to Manchester, UK to write that exam. Then like you get registered. Like it's a whole lot. It's a whole pathway on its own. So this is not an in-depth video. This is just like an overview of the parts after house job. So next is USMLE. USMLE may be longer. It's said to be harder than PLAB. Have at least 1 year like internship or observership in a US hospital before like you get USMLE. Some people say that it's not true. There's a lot of stories about what you need to do and what you don't need to do. So the pathway seems a little bit harder and complicated, especially for IMGs, international medical graduates. Now, Australia and Canada is a whole different ballgame on its own. I'm not going to talk about that in this video because I don't have an in-depth knowledge of how the exam goes. So if you want to get information about that, I think you should make Google your best friend and watch some YouTube videos that have probably gone in depth about these pathways. So now that is the local and the international pathway. Now coming to my plans post house job. The truth is, I want to be on sabbatical leave. If I can be paid to just be at home and do things, other things that I love, aside from being a doctor, that is what I want to do. That's my plan. So basically, right now, I am on sabbatical for at least 2 months or so. Then the next part for me is definitely NYSC. Like I said, do your NYSC, or rather, get your NYSC certificate. However, you want to do it is your business, but get your NYSC certificate. So that's what is next for me. Now, to the elephant in the room, would I be writing an international exam or not? Or would I be practicing in Nigeria? Between me and you right now, I don't know. A greater percentage of me wants to stay in Nigeria. I do want to practice in Nigeria, but every single day that percentage keeps reducing for obvious reasons. The compensation for medical professionals is nothing to write home about at all. And then like for what I want to do, I would definitely get the training I need in Nigeria. Like if I want to go into residency, I would definitely get the training I need. But it's not about it's more than just the training, it's other things that are involved. So for now, I don't know. A greater percentage of me, yes, I want to stay in Nigeria. So yeah, for now is do my NYSC and let's just see how it goes from there. What specialty do I want to go into, or do I even want to go into specialty training? I do want to go into specialty training because I mean it would be nice to know something and know something well instead of just being like a jack of all trade. It's not bad because that full statement or that full what's it called phrase, wisdom quotes says jack of all trade, master of none, but is better than a master of one. But that said, I want to go into internal medicine residency or pediatric residency just because I feel like I'll have more flexibility to my time. I don't need to be stuck in the oral doing surgeries for hours, but I'll also be able to use my hands when necessary because that's a very huge factor for whatever I specialize in. So it's either I go into that or I go into a softer part of surgery, which is ophthalmology, or I think it's a softer part of surgery is ophthalmology. So yeah, these are my options. So yeah, that is my plan after house job, and that is basically like a rundown of the general plan after house job. So this is the end of the video, guys. If there's any more videos you'd like to see in the house job series before I bring it to a close, do let me know in the comments. And also like this video if it was helpful to you or if you gained a few insights about life after house job. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe and hit that notification bell so you can get notified whenever I have new videos on this channel, and click that share button. Share it on WhatsApp, share it on Instagram, share it on TikTok, share it on everywhere shareable to all your friends and families so they can get info on this video. Okay, so yeah guys, that's the end of this video. I'll see you guys in my next one, and I love you guys as always. Mwah. Bye.
convince me he's not omnipresent.